Will you say a few words?
Our Acharya is Virenji, but he's running a little late, so we requested Ramanji.
Yeah. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
So my name's Amar. I haven't been able to be a Gangotri yet, but this is my first time and I'm very excited. I've heard so much about the center. I know that Virenji's been working with you all for very long. I think I've also been to one of your bhajan sessions as well.
Yes.
So that was very enjoyable. Today I have the pleasure of introducing Swamiji. Swamiji is from the Trinidad and Tobago Center, which is actually one of the biggest centers, if not the biggest center in the West. So outside of India, really, Swamiji's been doing a lot of work. In Trinidad, Swamiji returned after studying in India under, I think the batch that was in 91, Swamiji, correct? 91 to 93. And then after that went to law school in Banaras University. After that, Swamiji returned to Trinidad, and in 2005 was given sannyas. Since then, Swamiji has been doing all kinds of work. He has opened up the first Vidyalayas outside of India, which are the Chinmaya Mission schools. There are, I believe, 8 campuses now, Swamiji? 7. 8 more to come. all across the island. And just to see the children there at these various schools, I had the pleasure of staying at one of them at the Kuba campus, which is the main campus. And to see Swamiji's impact on all the children is just delightful. In addition to that, Swamiji is also known for a variety of things. He sings great bhajans, which you will hear tonight. Other things you won't see tonight, but we'll hopefully see someday when you visit Trinidad. Swamiji is also an avid mechanic. He builds his own jeeps and he knows how to weld. So all kinds of like fun things. In my opinion, Swamiji is the coolest Swamiji around. I love Swami Sharanandaji, but he doesn't weld. Swamiji is also a great cook. So I could go on with Swamiji, but most importantly, is Swamiji's ability to deliver Vedanta. That's why we're all here, is for Vedanta only. And Swamiji's clarity of the topic shows great understanding. And through great understanding, great teaching. Through great teaching, hopefully we can also aspire to be good students. So, without further ado, Swamiji, Hari.
This is a speaker here.
That's the speaker.
Can we try to repeat some of the lines? Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। वर्णानामर्थसंज्ञानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम्। नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथगाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति। Let me welcome all of you to this Satsang this evening. The topic which was given was Rama's Jatayu Sewa to Ram. I don't know how that topic came, but it came. A very interesting topic. Now, First I want you to know that we belong to a tradition which has thought about everything in our Brahmanda. In this universe in which we live, our tradition has thought about everything. They have given thought to everything. Our rishis have not left out any topic, any science, nothing they have left out. They have gone to the root of all things, all the way down to the lowest common denominator of the universe, which is existence. The universe is made up of existence only. Everything exists. So, the rishis have thought of everything. In other words, the rishis have taken human intellectual privilege and power to its zenith. Human beings are privileged with the intellect, isn't it? And they have taken that intellect. In Western world now they say you only use like 8% of your brain or something, they say like that. No? Well, the rishis have used 100% of that brain, really. Nowadays we may be using 8%, but they have used all of it and they have discovered the deepest secrets of this universe. And so there is no topic which they have not gone to the root of, including all atomic science and everything. Now they are trying to, they take all your billions and billions of hard-earned money and they build labs and all sorts of different things to discover the God particle. Have you seen? Billions of dollars they spent to build labs to discover the God particle. They could have spent $2 for Upanishad. So all that would have been unnecessary, you know. But really they have given thought to everything. Now, at a very ordinary level, they realized very early that human beings, rishis realized early, that human beings are selfish beings. We are all born selfish. And when we say selfish, we mean selfish. Absolutely selfish. A child cannot think about another person. When the child wants milk, he doesn't care where the mother or father gets milk from. He wants milk. When he wants something, he doesn't care where the mother or father have to get that money, but he wants it. So he only cares about himself. Every animal is born like that. We are born selfish in Trinidad language. I don't know if you say here, but in Trinidad language you say selfish to the bone. So now, see, if that cow is eating grass here, and a nice green grass is over here, after that cow fills its belly, that cow doesn't think, you know, my sister cow is at home. Better I take some grass for my sister cow. Any animal thinks? No. An animal only thinks of himself only. And we say, no, some people, no, Swamiji, dogs are so loyal and so loving and they have, you know, their master's interest at heart and this and that. False thing. Let me tell you something. When you come home, your dog is so happy to see you. And he wags and jumps and that time, if you just give him a donut, he forgets you. Or whatever they like. Huh? If you just give him at that time, he takes it and he forgets that you have come home. He thinks about his belly, yes, quickly. Now, the animal is born selfish and he dies selfish. The human being is born selfish, but he has an opportunity to become selfless. It's a privilege to become selfless. If the human being is born selfish like the animal, and he also dies selfish, that means in that lifetime, there's no evolution, isn't it? But unfortunately, that is how most of humanity dies. Humanity is born selfish, and we also die selfish. But the rishis have pointed out that we have that privilege with an intellect. Even though we are born selfish, we have the privilege and the capacity to become selfless beings. And when they ask the question, how will that person become selfless? Well, they had to delve into other deeper things in the universe now to find out how this person should become selfless. How he will become, instead of being selfish, how he will become selfless. So now that's a very simple thing. They say, oh, the selfishness which the human being is engaged in is he is doing all actions only to satisfy his own appetite or whatever, isn't it? All actions he does only to satisfy himself. So the simple thing would be, okay, let me do all actions to satisfy others. Let me forget about myself and do all actions to satisfy others. But then we say, but no, how that will work? That cannot. See, I also have by karma, I have duty. If I am a householder, for instance, I have to take care of my spouse, I have to take care of my house, children, this, that, even, isn't it? So how I will do things only to satisfy others? That is not possible, they said. People say. So they have studied, now, rishis again, have studied also the whole mechanism that surrounds action. They studied action, karma. And they said, no, after studying karma well, no, it is possible for you to be doing the same things you are doing and still be selfless. Take care of your family and take care of your household and take care of those around you, and still we can be selfless, because they studied really what action is. And I'll show you this general law of action. Gurudev used to put it in a very simple sentence. It is not what you do, but it is how you do what you do. And what is the meaning of that? That meaning is, what is the attitude that accompanies your action? What is the attitude that accompanies our action? Any action will have some thought behind it, some attitude, some motive, that kind of thing, isn't it? So if the motive is selfless, the action is selfless. If the motive is selfish, the action is selfish. You know this general principle of the motive, or what sometimes we call the attitude behind the action. That general principle is used even today in all systems of jurisprudence also. It's such a universal law of action. See, if somebody is charged in a court for murder, that court will try to determine whether this fellow had any intention to kill. If the court determines he did not have any intent, see, he may have killed, the man may have died also. But if this fellow had no intention to kill, what they call it intent in legal terms, the result is same, the man is dead. But this fellow had no intention. Then the court absolves that person from this crime, isn't it? So this truism about action is, it is not the action that counts, it is the motive or the intention or the attitude which was behind the action, that is what counts. Like, for example, if a doctor cuts open your belly in an operating theater in a hospital to do some surgery inside. So you're cutting open up the belly, it will be seen ordinary. So somebody cuts open your belly downtown Chicago on the street. So the cutting open of the belly will be one and same, isn't it? But the fellow who cuts your belly downtown Chicago, he'll be in some trouble. But nobody goes and arrests the doctor. So the act being the same, the doctor has a selfless motive, isn't it? selfless intention. He's trying to save your life. I don't think anybody downtown Chicago is trying to save your life. So while the act remains the same, it is what is behind the act which actually makes the act. Isn't it? The rishis took the action way beyond the physical. Physical is the physical act itself. So an act is not merely the physical action. An act is, really speaking, the motive behind the act. Based on that thing, they said, now we have a wonderful opportunity to become selfless. Because I only have to change my motive. You do whatever you are doing every day. You go to work, you take care of your household, you go shopping, you mow the lawn or whatever you have to do. Isn't it? But keeping the right motive behind in that action, that will determine whether that act will now bind me to this universe or whether that act will free me from this universe. That thing, they gave a name. If I am acting with a selfless motive for the benefit of others, that is called as Sewa. And if I am acting with a selfish motive, that is called a karma. Sewa is also called karma yoga. Huh? So we have a choice now. You do karma or you do karma yoga. Karma binds. Karma yoga frees. Karma yoga is in language of Gyan. Sewa is the language of bhakti. It means to say in bhakti tradition, they call that same thing Sewa. We just give it a different name. Don't let name confuse you. Just name only. Sewa. That means what? Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna in the third chapter, my dear Arjuna, Loka sangrahame vapi sampashyan kartumarasi. Means what you do, you look towards the benefit of this world and you act. Do your action. Arjuna went on that battlefield with a totally selfish disposition. Arjuna had killed many people in the past and he had no qualms about killing anybody and fighting with anybody. He even fought with Lord Shiva. But when it came to fighting my people, and this is where all trouble comes. All corruption, all bad actions, all evil actions always spring right there. Mine, isn't it? So, when it became his people on the other side, the selfishness kicked in very strongly. And then he said, I am not going to fight. Bhagavan told, no, you fight for dharma. You fight for the benefit of others. You fight for posterity. You fight for the benefit of the world. Loka sangraha it is called in the third chapter. You will see that line, so important line. In other words, Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, look, you change the attitude. In any case, you are a fighter. And that, you know what he tells? He tells you will fight whether you like it or not. Certainly you will fight. But all you have to do is have the right attitude. Now, this is the teaching I am telling. This is the teaching of the Rishi tradition. The teaching is, you do what you do, but do it with a selfless attitude. When you go to work tomorrow, you see, all people go to work with only one motive, that is to make money, isn't it? Nobody thinks. We see that everywhere. A teacher comes to teach in our school, the teacher doesn't think, I have the future of the nation in my hands. I have an opportunity to make humanity by teaching a child properly. The teacher doesn't think that. The teacher thinks it's a job and it pays well. Isn't it? And all of humanity thinks like this only. One fellow went for a job, and you know when you fill out that form, they ask salary expected. He put yes. One other man, the boss was asking him, how much salary are you expecting? He said, 200,000 a year. Young fellow, now out of university. I'm expecting 200,000 a year. He said, what about if we throw in a car for you to drive, and we give you free housing downtown so you don't have to commute every day, and we give you 1 month paid vacation, and we give you a traveling allowance, and we give you a good pension plan. What about that? This fellow said, are you kidding? He said, yes, but you started it. People only think about this. This figure, isn't it? Nobody thinks of Sewa and doing karma yoga, and that is the remotest thing in people's mind. But the rishis say, no. When you go there, you say, Adam Smith, a great economist. I remember in school, they were using Adam Smith as the example, and he realized that when they introduced division of labor, one man was just making the head of the pin, another man was making the body of the pin, and another man over there was making the point, making it, sharp. And so they divided the work. A fellow who is making the head of the pin, of course,